Hi, Joe Murphy. We've been talking about life principles for the past couple of days. I think I'm on part 9 or 10. Doesn't make any difference. I want to talk to you, though, about what this means in terms of leadership, life principles in terms of leadership. And you're going to want to watch this because I'm going to go to a favorite author of mine, and his name is Manfred Kets De Vries. I'm going to show you his book here. It's one of his books. I've got all his books. I have all his books. All right. It's called, this book is called I'll just move my hand away from his name so you can see it. The Leadership Mystique. You can see it behind me. Manfred Kets De Vries, The Leadership Mystique. This is an important book, and it's got a number of powerful components to it. First of all, let me explain to you who Manfred Kets De Vries is, because many of you have not heard his name. It's not a household name like Peter Drucker, although if you're in Europe, I'm sure his name is a household name in terms of leadership. Manfred Kets De Vries, and I apologize if I'm not saying his name correctly, is a management scholar. He's a psychoanalyst and a professor of leadership and organizational change at INSEAD. And he wrote something about transference in this book, okay? And it's a powerful component because transference is the psychoanalytical perspective of what I call life principles. Life principles is more of a street term that I got from Dr. 𝗟𝗶𝗳𝗃, who was also a psychiatrist. He was a medical doctor, and he was one of the best coaches out there for Olympians, as well as for hedge fund traders. I mentioned his name before, and I want to make sure I say it again, because I got the term, life principles, from Dr. 𝗟𝗶𝗃. But I want to talk to you about now another book and another piece of work from Manfred Kets De Vries on this word transference. They're both the same, life principles, or they have the same meaning. And I'm going to read to you what Manfred Kets De Vries wrote in this book. He said, transference, and this is where I quote, is the most important concept in psychotherapy. Transference, or life principles, is the most important concept in psychotherapy. Now, I want you to think about psychotherapy, how large it is. And what he's saying it is, life principles, and this is why I spent so much time on this. You got to understand this idea of transference, life principles, because it's the most important concept in psychotherapy. Now, we don't do psychotherapy, but we do. It's about understanding people and what causes them to tick. More importantly, it's about emotional intelligence and what causes us to tick and what causes us to react and get emotional. And understanding this will help you become more self-aware, but also, because self-awareness is a critical component, how to control your emotions, and also, and I'm going to say the word control, not manipulate, the emotions of others through your actions, your behaviors, and your mannerisms and your talk, so that you can connect with people faster. Now, let me get back to the quotes from Manfred Kets De Vries. It is the most important concept in psychotherapy. And he states this, and that no relationship that we have is a new relationship. No relationship that we have is a new relationship. Previous relationships color all relationships. And I'm still quoting him, and the relationships that have the most lasting potency, coloring almost every subsequent behavior, are those we had with our earliest caregivers. Okay, I'm going to close the quote there. Our caregivers were our parents, for the most part. Grandparents, could have been an authority figure like a teacher, a religious figure. But nothing colors our current relationships more than our earliest caregiver relationships. That's why I spent so much time on this. And if you can catch yourself thinking about someone or getting ready to say something in response to somebody or a reaction, recognize that this is coming mostly from within, if not always from within based upon the past. It has nothing to do with the present. It's why we see somebody in a meeting blow up and we go, what happened? And to them it was perfectly natural. They were insulted. Somebody trespassed against them. And if you can understand that, you can see that in yourself. And you can try to clear out, remember I had this filter a couple days ago. You can clear out the dirty filter that you see the world through and remove it, or at least drop it temporarily, because we do this in the beginning. We drop it, then we get it back up when we're not paying attention, and it stays there. Because we see the world through our past. We see the world through our past. We never see reality. I'm going to say that again. We never see reality. The key is, and I showed you this before, is to get a clean filter and start seeing through it, or put a different filter through the lens, or the filter through the filter of your vision of who you want to become or be. All right, I'm going to leave you this last quote from Manfred Kets De Vries, and I'll follow back up on the other side and bring this home to leadership to give you an example. Here's Manfred Kets De Vries again. How we deal with power and authority in the family dictates our later relationships of power and authority in the workplace. The predominant interaction patterns of childhood cast a long shadow. The predominant interaction patterns of childhood casts a long shadow. I'm Joe Murphy, and here I'm going to write the word transference, because transference is another word for life principles. So, transference is the most important concept in psychotherapy. This is life principles. We're talking about life principles here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.